that can be sharpened. So not my favorite. So I'm just going to say that was the one thing in this whole line that I was sort of like, I'm not a huge fan. So let me, before I kind of show you all the things on my face, this is the deal with Chruchi. One of the things that you want to know about Chruchi is that they are all about like sustainability. So they have actual wooden pencils. These are made out of wood and you have to sharpen them. So I was kind of like, oh my goodness, I remember using these like when I was a kid, like in college, you know, the pencil, the actual wood, I don't know where those sharpeners are. So it would be cool because they're very inexpensive if when you order, like your first order should come with like a little sharpener, you know, the sharpener that has the small tip and the big tip. So now I have to go to Target because I'm never going to be able to sharpen these. I don't have a sharpener, but I do like the fact that they are actually real wood. That's a sustainability thing. So that's part of Chruchi is like when you call someone Chruchi, right? They're trying to say, hey, like we care about the earth. So that's something to note. The other thing to note, which I wasn't like super, I was like, this is kind of bulky. These are glass. The mascara, glass. I think they're the first company that has done this because they're minimizing plastic, as much plastic as they can. They still have plastic in some of their things. You can't really get away from that. Excuse me. I inhaled some sort of nut earlier today and it's just in my throat. So you may hear me cough a little bit. Okay, so that's the thing about these. And, you know, this is more kind of like ease of use. Let me pop it in my pocket. And this is definitely like a little bulkier. So it's, and I've noticed that you really do need to keep it upright because see, like one end will get real kind of juicy. So I've had to kind of come in here and like try to see if I can pull off some of the excess there. It's not so bad, but it gets a little bit junky on there. The transparent one doesn't as much. That one's really nice. And I was kind of using that today as well. So I like them though. They feel good on and they look good on. So that's a cool thing there, that their sustainability. So, okay. And like most of their packaging is like, this is all cardboard and can just be, you know, it will go away. You know what I mean? Like it won't just sit there in a pile somewhere for 1,000 years. Okay. These though, and we did talk about this, this is metal and this is synthetic. So this is a synthetic fiber brush, which will last much longer. So again, from a sustainability standpoint, they want you to keep your brushes like your lifetime, hopefully. I don't know if I would, maybe this would last me 3 years, I would think. So, okay. So I'm not going to touch my face because I want to show you. So my eyes, if we look real close, it did okay. You can see I do have, and I don't know if you can see that, this line here always gets like creasing, like I get a little bit of filler in there, and it is filled in just a little bit. The eyeshadow stayed on okay. The lash, you know, the line there, which I used with eyeshadow, stayed on. There's a little bit of like, and I can't really see what I'm looking at, but I did look close. I think there's like a little bit of flaking from the mascara. I did notice that like when I'm putting on the mascara to just do like one coat, kind of like Thrive. Thrive is totally synthetic mascara, but this stuff is kind of like you can't do, like when I sat there and was trying to dry it off, that was drying it too much on the wand, which caused some of that crackling. And I don't like that. So I just decided this time to just leave it and try. And it did. It kind of did a better job on the lashes, and it didn't stick or anything because it's, you know, it stayed. But like I said, there was like a little bit of flaking. So it didn't bother my eyes today though. So just know that, like, I'm not a huge fan of any mascara that flakes, but usually it's because it flakes into my eyes and then I have like watering eyes. This product did not water my eyes today. So that was helpful. Okay. You guys also know I have a very pink nose. So you can see it starting to come out. So I'll show you. This is, I don't know if it'll focus in, but my nose, because again, I'm doing this during the day, like constantly. So it did come off a little bit, not as much as like I think it was Ilia that we used, not as much as that product line. So if I was gonna say like right now for tonight, go out, I would just retouch this a little bit. So, and just retouch my nose, because again, my sinuses and all the things, I have like a little mustache. I don't want to have that kind of redness. So I might go in just like if I was going out tonight or something like that and just retouch. I just took a tiny bit of the actual foundation, not my Alibi, just to kind of retouch there. And I didn't see any like major things like around my lips. I sometimes, because I'm wiping my mouth and stuff and reapplying, but it seemed okay. This didn't really cover fully, even my Alibi, and I did it multiple times to see, wasn't like full coverage, which again, I don't typically wear. But again, like my Alibi, I have a couple like zits here, and I did this multiple times to see if I could like actually get it covered. And it will cover for you guys, but I can still see it. So on this, so again, this is full coverage, which is good because it's not like caking coverage. Does that make sense? Like I'm not caking it on, but it's nice. It does its job well, and then it breathed okay today. So this is the silica based only. So there's only silica in this setting powder, and I am surprised that this did work. And what I mean by that is I wasn't super shiny. So you saw my makeup, like I didn't do anything since this morning. And this did okay. I like usually super matte face, so I will usually throughout the day apply like my actual powder foundation once or twice throughout the day. But this stayed put and did its job. So why does it stay put? It stays put because of the silicones in it. Again, there's small amounts of dimethicone in this product line. That helps also like the eyeshadow not move. You know how sometimes you use makeup and then you get like a weird like extra makeup in the crease, it just kind of sits there. This didn't do that, but that's a product of the dimethicone. So you have to make that choice, is like, you know, and I have talked to Amy. So Amy is the gal that was just kind of like helping me navigate through all of this stuff. I put her name in the thing. She's a Chruchi like advocate, I guess they call them. So again, I don't sell it. I worked with her just to have her help me with a few things. She was really great and not super salesy and just like available. So just know that. But I did give her some of my feedback that like, if it's a Chruchi product and in their product ingredient list, there's a ton of natural silicones. There are natural things that act like plastic silicones, but in nature, and you can actually do that. And they have them in a lot of their makeup lines. So it's like, why not just transition and get rid of all of the synthetics? So really the only small amounts of synthetics that I found at all were the dimethicone and the oddly, they have like synthetic beeswax in their lip gloss, which I'm not real thrilled with. And here's why. Synthetic beeswax is technically like a plastic. So if I'm putting that on my lips, I don't want that on my lips because I'm swallowing this stuff. You know, I take a bite of something, so that's why I had to like take it all off before we ate our lunch, and I don't want to have to do that. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I have heard that they possibly are getting rid of that, but outside of that, like the eyeliner, the lip crayon, totally clean. There's nothing in it that's bad. There's a couple glycols in the mascara, which again, I don't know if those glycols are from nature or not, because if a company, and so this is again just my feedback for them, because they're pretty clean. There's like a couple dings here. It's really just dimethicone and then that weird synthetic beeswax, but the glycols should be called out on their site. So meaning like glycols can be from synthetic or they can be from vegetables. So just put what it is. If it's, and usually if they don't say from vegetables, probably the synthetic. So that's only in the mascara. Again, I just looked at the foundation, the concealer, which is that My Alibi concealer, the eyeshadow palette, the eyeliner, the shattered mascara, the lip crayon, and the lip gloss. So those, and then obviously the finishing powder has nothing in it. So this is totally clean. What I mean by that, it is just silica. So this was a good one too. So I like their brushes. The brushes are definitely most like Savvy. So if you are bummed that like the Savvy brush line has gone, they have a much more complete brush line than even Savvy. So you can go and, they feel identical. It's that, I was like, oh, they probably use the same brand, like literally the same like source company is probably what Chruchi used, what Savvy used. That Crunchy's been around, I think, for 7 years or something. I don't know. The Smart Primer, I think, was clean as well. I need to just go ahead and update that for you guys because I'm just looking at all the products here that I have. Otherwise, I did end up using like my other I have a very easy way to do my eyes with the other pencil. You guys have seen me do that. So I used that when I took it off and put it back on. As far as washing it off, it came off okay. Meaning like I kind of have this thing of, do I have to use a micellar, or however you pronounce that, like it's vitamins that kind of like disintegrate the makeup? Do I have to use that, or can I just use soap and water? Can I just use a microfiber cloth and warm water? So I'm always looking at that. So when you see the total review of all the companies, there's going to be a line item on each thing, and the like how easy it is to remove is based on that. And I'm going to try and figure out how I can kind of explain it a little bit so that you know what you're looking at. But one of it is like, can I just remove it with a microfiber cloth and warm water? Do I have to use soap? Do I have to use makeup remover? These things to me are kind of important. And I feel like it's, this one came off much easier than the others. So I didn't have to go in with a ton of makeup remover. Most of it came off with just my charcoal bar soap. I did though have to use a little bit of again, I don't know how to pronounce it, the micellar, whatever. It's like a liquid that you put on your face, and it was really just for the eyelashes. So I'm guessing that's because of some of the glycols that are in there, which would make sense to me. So otherwise, that's it for this one. And I'm going to stay on after I stop the recording for those of you on the actual Zoom with me right now to see if you have any other questions, because this is like I'm trying to fit some in so that we can have more. Like I want to do beauty counter. I still am waiting for a couple things. I just got word from because I wanted to do Tubes and Co. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, because they're actually a pretty clean line, but they're out of stock of like all my colors that I would use. So I reached out to them, like, do you have any, like even the samples, like none of it. So that's kind of the biggest bummer when you go to a company and you want to try their makeup, but they're out of stock. So we have to have a little bit of grace, but at the same time, like that is a problem too, moving forward. And again, I didn't have a blush here because it's out of stock until like April. So I did use the lip crayon, and that worked really well. I actually really liked it as well, liked it a lot. So so that being said, it's just a matter of like, some of the brands that we can kind of get in there. Part of it is like, I was hoping to review 12 fully clean brands, and then we found out that most of them were not clean at all. And that's a big bummer, you know what I mean? So it's like, whoa, okay, so those got taken off the list. Even 100% pure, I can't test it. There's gluten in it. So, you can't call yourself 100% pure if you have a GMO in your product line. So that's kind of, but that's where I want to be as transparent as possible that, some of these companies, some of you are like, why did you even post about Cient? Well, because so many of you have asked me, can you please review Cient? I would never put that on my face. The toxins in that product are so bad. So one of the things that we're going to be doing in some of our next videos, we're going to do a full wrap up video, but I want to be able to kind of go over all of the brands and kind of what things worked, what things didn't. You know, there are some elements in some product lines that are good and some that aren't. So, you know, part of it is don't throw the baby out with the bathwater on any brand. It's just what would work well. Now, I could say you could throw the whole baby out on some brands because there's toxic ingredients in everything. But occasionally you find things like 100% pure, which I just can't use because of my issue. But if you don't have any problems with wheat protein, then that's fine. However, if you're calling yourself a company that's that, then why is there something in, like, you know, that's kind of a curious thing to me when they say we're 100% pure, we're a super natural company, but then there's all these synthetic dyes. I'm like, those are really, really bad for people, like really bad. And especially in your lipsticks. Do you know how many people have major like issues with their world when any synthetic dyes get into their system and it's on the lipstick? That's terrible. So that's part of a sadness on a company I'm going to be doing soon here, because I, you know, was assuming they would be really clean and they aren't. So it's like, oh, what happened? You know? So I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to be as totally unbiased, straightforward as possible. I want to help you guys find the right brand, but this is so time consuming. I'm even starting a concierge service. We were supposed to start this month and I'm punting it to next month because I don't have the time. It's like, this is an all consuming thing. So if you would like to donate to the plight, it's a little over $3,000 now that we've spent. We've covered it by your donations by about, I think we're almost hitting the 1,500 point. The last I checked, it was like 1,470 or something. We got a couple more donations in today, and you guys are just giving like $5 or $10 or however much you want to give. You can go to 31oils.com and in the search bar, just search in makeup and you'll see a picture of me and it just says makeup donations for us testing all of this. So this just helps Mr. O'Sullivan not feel so freaked out about the massive expense that we're incurring. But we appreciate anything that you guys can do. And if you can't afford it, please don't. This is a free channel. This is a free service. Again, unbiased. I don't sell makeup for anybody. So we're all good there. All right. So I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.